leader from the Congress party in Karnataka is concerned. D K Shivakumar, who will be questioned in a money laundering case revolving around disproportionate assets case. In October 2020, the CBI had registered the case after the ED shared its findings. And this happened when the governor gave sanction to prosecute him. Now, what is being said, according to this breaking update, that the ED took cognizance of the CBI's FIR and has filed a second money laundering case against him. So between 11 to 11:30 a.m., he is expected to appear before the investigative agencies, as now he will be questioned in yet another money laundering case that has been registered against him. This is in the disproportionate assets case, when the CBI already had registered a case against him in October 2020. It is the ED this time around that has taken cognizance of the CBI FIR, and the ED has now filed a second money laundering case against him. Now, what is being said by the CBI case, that as a public servant, he amassed wealth beyond the source of income, the known source of income. And what is being said in the ED case in 2019, when the ED had arrested him in a money laundering case around income tax findings as well. We'll be going across to Bhavtosh now. Bhavtosh, in a short while from now, he is expected to appear before the ED now. What are we looking at as the connection between the two cases, one by the CBI and now by the ED?
Amita, this entire case revolves around the findings that were given by the Income Tax Department, first to the Enforcement Directorate, and then subsequently the findings of the references that were given by the Enforcement Directorate to CBI. Remember, in 2017, the Income Tax Department had carried out raids and searches across India, in which they have even managed to seize cash worth 6.4 crore rupees. And then they have filed a prosecution complaint under Black Money Act. Now, the Enforcement Directorate then took cognizance of that, and they had filed their own case. And he was in fact summoned, and he was questioned and then formally arrested in 2019. He managed to get bail in that case. Then the prosecution complaint was filed this year. Because he was out on bail in that case, court took cognizance of that, and the trial in that case is going on. Then subsequently, on the reference that was given by the Enforcement Directorate, a separate case of disproportionate assets was filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, and ED now has filed a case of money laundering in the disproportionate asset. Last week, the ED issued a notice to him to appear in that case on Monday, and it's expected that D K Shivakumar will be appearing in that case. But D K Shivakumar, in fact, questioned why ED is issuing notice to him when he is participating in Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Right, because he is also questioned the timing of the questioning, the summons that has been issued to him, because he is expected to appear before the agency in a short while from now. Let me also bring in Deepak on board. Deepak, the political aspect to it, because he's questioning the timing of it and saying that this is in a way to derail the Bharat Jodo Yatra.
Yes, we've seen several Congress leaders come out and say that the timing of the ED summons and Mr. D K Shivakumar being called to Delhi is questionable, and they're saying that this is to target the Bharat Jodo Yatra. The next leg, of course, is in Karnataka. I have, Congress leader Mr. Rizwan Arshad here with me. Mr. D K Shivakumar said this, that, he's ready to cooperate with the investigation. He's gone to Delhi today, but he says this is intentionally being done. Do you feel that, law is taking its course here?
No, absolutely it's intentional. Absolutely it's political. He has been cooperative for all the investigative agencies in every manner in which they wanted to interrogate him, to question him. They sent him to the jail, he got bail, he came out, still cooperating. But when you have assembly in session, he is a legislator, when he is the party president, and he is organizing the Bharat Jodo Yatra, in the middle of that you're summoning him. What does that show? That shows that you are really worried about Congress party emerging in a bigger way. Congress parties displaying what affection it has got for the people and how people are welcoming the Congress party all along the Yatra. So it's somewhere BJP is worried. That's the reason they have summoned him.
Also, regarding the Bharat Jodo Yatra itself, Mr. D K Shivakumar was expressing some concerns about, some MLAs not giving the kind of support that he expected, in terms of ensuring people come for the yatra. He mentioned Mr. R.V. Deshpande's name as well.
No, it has been taken in a very different way. He spoke on a different context. He was talking internally to the legislators. So few legislators whose constituency are at the other end of the Karnataka, they said, how do we mobilize and what is the way out? So these are internal discussions when we sit to organize a party program. So it was not meant for public, or it was not meant to, the way it has been portrayed that he has warned the MLAs and all that. That is not the case. So we know it is an internal exercise where we discuss that if an MLA is in one part of Karnataka, he may not be able to mobilize that many people. So the people who are nearby, the MLAs nearby, have to take more responsibilities. It was that in that way he had spoken.
Thank you for speaking to us. Well, that's the word from the Congress party, which is saying that it is definitely politically motivated. Mr. Rizwan Arshad was speaking to us. Mr. C.T. Ravi, the National General Secretary of the BJP, is also here. I'm going to put that question across to him about the charge of the Congress that the summons being issued to Mr. D K Shivakumar at this point in time is politically motivated. He is right now speaking to the media. We'll of course try to get in a question there from Mr. C.T. Ravi as well.
कांग्रेस जोड़ने का भी सफल नहीं होगा ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
ये एक तरफ सपोर्ट मिल रहा है
डी के शिवकुमार आज ईडी में समन हुए हैं और कांग्रेस बोल रहे हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड है. असेंबली चल रहा है और भारत जोड़ो का प्रिपरेशन चल रहा है, उसके बीच में उनको बुलाया जा रहा है दिल्ली के.
अवैध संपत्ति वो भी पॉलिटिकली है क्या? उन्होंने एक स्टेटमेंट में बताया, मैं एक कन्नड़ में कहा, ये 3 गाड़ी में बुलक कार्ट में कनकपुर से आया हूँ, डरने वाला नहीं हूँ, ऐसा कहा. आज जेट से जाने का क्षमता कैसे मिला? कहाँ से आया ऐसा संपत्ति? हजारों करोड़ का संपत्ति कहाँ से आया? उसके बाद उसके बारे में इंक्वायरी होना नहीं होना, आप बताइए. इंक्वायरी करना वो गलत है क्या? अवैध संपत्ति के वजह से इंक्वायरी करेंगे तो गलती हो सकता है क्या? वो लोग अबोव द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है क्या? अबोव द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऐसा सोचने वाला ऐसा स्टेटमेंट देता है. कांग्रेसी लोग अबोव द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं है. वो लोग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर ही आता है तो ईडी इंक्वायरी भी होता है और सभी बाकी कारोबारी भी होता है.
कहा जा रहा है कि उनको रोकने का कोशिश कर रही है बीजेपी, लगातार भारत जोड़ो यात्रा को तोड़ने की और कांग्रेस को बांटने की कोशिश कर रही है ईडी के थ्रू.
ऐसा स्टेटमेंट देख करके बचा हो सकता है क्या? रोकने की कोशिश कर रहा है ऐसा स्टेटमेंट दे करके बचा हो सकता है क्या? इंक्वायरी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के बारे में नहीं है. इंक्वायरी केवल अवैध संपत्ति के बारे में है. अवैध संपत्ति के बारे में है, भारत जोड़ो यात्रा के बारे में है ही नहीं.
लेकिन टाइमिंग जो है
ऐसा है तो सब लोगों को रुक सकता था, ऐसा नहीं है.
थैंक यू सर.
Well, that's the word from Mr. C.T. Ravi. He's saying that this investigation is not about Bharat Jodo. He's saying that this is about, amassing, income in illegal ways. And he's saying that this is something that the Congress is answerable to and they're not about the Constitution. We'll really have to see, as he appears today for the summons, how the Congress leaders, of course, who are now even going into the assembly, how they even react in the state assembly, because of course it's in place today. This issue could come up there could be a heated argument over this with the government over this matter as well.
All right.